Welcome to the second part of our chapter, dimensional analysis. Last time we tried to understand what do you mean by the dimensions of a physical quantity. So from there we understood that writing the dimensions of a given physical quantity means breaking down a given derived physical quantity in terms of its fundamental physical quantities and finding out the powers of the different fundamental physical quantities. The powers are called as the dimensions of the given physical quantity. Now we will try to understand that what is the dimensional formula and how we can write down the dimensional formula of any given derived or fundamental physical quantity. So what is a dimensional formula? A dimensional formula is just a simple expression in which a given physical quantity is expressed in terms of the fundamental physical quantities replaced with their corresponding characteristic symbols. So how to write down the dimensional formula of a given physical quantity? The method is very simple. First, we are going to decompose or express a given physical quantity in terms of its fundamental physical quantities. Then each physical fundamental quantity will be replaced by its characteristic symbol placed inside a square bracket. After collecting all the square brackets and writing all of those symbols in a single square bracket, the final expression which we will get, we call it as the dimensional formula of the given derived physical quantity. Now first let us see what symbols we have to use for a given fundamental physical quantities. Now for the mass m, we will use capital M enclosed inside a square bracket. For the length we use capital L. For the time we use capital T. For the electric current we use capital A. For the temperature we use capital K. For the luminous intensity we use CD. CD is a short form of the unit of the luminous intensity, that is candela, in the lower case, both C and D. And for amount of substance we use mole. One thing we have to remember while writing down the dimensional formula, that when we replace the fundamental physical quantities with their corresponding characteristic symbols, which we have just seen now on the board, they must be included inside the square bracket. Why? Because including these symbols inside the square bracket, it automatically means that we are trying to actually find out the dimensions of the given derived physical quantity. Now what are the steps we have to follow in order to write down the dimensional formula? The first step for writing dimensional formula is to express a given physical quantity in terms of its fundamental physical quantities. We start with the simplest example of physical quantity, that is area. We know that area is the product of length and breadth. Area is a product of length and breadth. Although we are measuring the two different dimensions of a given geometrical figure, but both are measured in terms of the same fundamental physical quantity, that is length. So after expressing a given derived physical quantity but with the help of its formula, we have to replace every quantity in terms of its respective fundamental physical quantity. So here length is already there, and we know that breadth is also measured in terms of the fundamental physical quantity length. So we will write this expression as length multiplied by length. This is the first step. The second step is that after expressing the given quantity in terms of fundamental physical quantity, we will replace each fundamental quantity with its corresponding characteristic symbol but expressed inside the square bracket. So for the length, which symbol we are using? Capital L enclosed inside the square bracket. So for place of length we will write L1. For this length we will multiply it again with L1. So both of them must be included inside the square bracket and they must be replaced at their respective places. What is the third and final step? We collect all characteristic symbols inside a single square bracket. So you can see that here we have two square brackets, but to find final dimensional formula we have to express all of these symbols inside a single square bracket. So you can see here the dimension of the L is 1, here the dimension of L is also equal to 1. So because base is same, so power will add up, so dimension will become L raised to power 1 plus 1, that is 2. So from here we can say that the dimensions of area are 2 in terms of the fundamental quantity, that is length L. We also know that area is not affected by measurement of mass and time. So mass and time, they are not affecting the measurement of area. This means the dimensions of mass and time are 0 for the area. So we can also express the dimensional formula for the area as M0, L2 and T0, because mass and time, they are having 0 dimensions for the area, so we need not to write them along with that fundamental quantity which have non-zero dimensions. So we can simply write down the dimensional formula of area as L2 enclosed inside the square bracket. So these are the steps which we have to follow to write down the dimensional formula of a given derived physical quantity. So what is the definition? An expression which represents the given physical quantity in terms of the fundamental quantities in their respective symbolic form enclosed inside the square bracket, we call that formula as the dimensional formula. Now we will try to write down the dimensional formula for other physical quantities. Now we will write dimensional formula for the other physical quantities. We will take few examples. First we start with the volume. We know that volume is length into breadth multiplied by height. Now length is already fundamental in nature, breadth and height are also expressible in terms of the fundamental quantity length, so we can write them as length multiplied by length multiplied by length. What is the next step? Replace each fundamental quantity with its respective symbol inside square bracket. For length it is L1. And last step, collect all symbols inside a single square bracket. So base is same for each bracket, L, L and L. So powers will add up. So it will be finally L3. So what is the dimensional formula for the volume? It will be equal to L3. If we write down dimensional formula for the density of a body, we know that density is equal to mass divided by volume. Mass itself is a fundamental quantity, so its dimensional formula will be M1. We have just written the dimensional formula for the volume. It is equal to L3. Remember, we will not pronounce it as M raised to power 1 or L raised to power 3 or L cube. We will just simply read it as M1 and L3, because this is the last step in which we have to enclose every symbol inside a square bracket. So this we will take into the numerator, so it will become M1L minus 3. So this is the dimensional formula of the density M1L minus 3. Next we write dimensional formula for the linear momentum. We know that linear momentum is mass multiplied by velocity. We know that mass is fundamental, not the velocity. So we can write it as mass multiplied by displacement over time. Mass and time are fundamental, and displacement is actually measured in terms of the fundamental quantity length. So we can write it as mass multiplied by length divided by time. So now we have the formula in terms of the fundamental physical quantities, mass, length and time. replace it by their respective symbols. For mass it is m1, for length it is l1, for time it is t1. At last we express all three symbols m, l and t with their dimensions in a single square bracket like this. m1, l1, t1 get into the numerator, it will become t minus 1. So the dimensional formula for the linear momentum is m1, l1 and t minus 1. Next, acceleration. We know that acceleration is equal to velocity divided by time. You have just seen that velocity over time is acceleration, time is fundamental, but velocity is a derived physical quantity. So we can write it as displacement divided by time. We already had time over here, so it will change into time square. Displacement is measured in terms of the fundamental quantity length, so it will be length divided by time square. Replace each quantity with its respective symbol. So we have L1 in the numerator, but we have a square of the time, so dimensions of the time in the denominator it will be 2 because of the square, so it will be t2. Express in a single square bracket, it will become equal to L1 t minus 2. So the dimensional formula of acceleration is L1 t minus 2. Last, we take the example of force. Force, we know that it is mass into acceleration. We have just written the dimensional formula of the mass, it is m1. We have just written the dimensional formula of acceleration, L1 t minus 2. It is L1 t minus 2. So we have two square brackets, we have to make them into one single square bracket, so it will be m1, L1 and t minus 2. So dimensional formula for the force will be m1, L1 and t minus 2. So in this way we can write down the dimensional formula of other various physical quantities. If somebody is asking that what are the dimensions of force in terms of mass, length and time, we will not say the dimensional formula for the given quantity, but we will say that dimensions of the force are 1 for the mass, 1 for the length and minus 2 for the time t. So in this way, from the dimensional formula we can find out the dimensions of a given physical quantity in terms of the fundamental quantities, and also we can say that out of set of 7 fundamental quantities, which fundamental quantities they make up the given derived physical quantities. Thank you.